So you know the ones where you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, that's my tune.
That's my tune. Hey, what's good? This is Jojo B and this is episode 49 of That's My Tune, the podcast providing song reviews and interviews. Last week I had a chat with Madman State regarding his song Can't Keep Living This Hell. Today I'll be talking with Jehreeus and his contribution to the song Scotty. So sit back, relax, enjoy this track, and I'll be right back talking to the man himself about this song and a whole lot more. Very interesting career so far. You'll see. So everyone, I'd like to introduce you to Jehreeus. Woo! How you doing?
I'm doing quite well today. I can't complain.
Good. I'm happy. So I'm so glad I've got you on here because like you have an amazing talent as a vocal arranger, backing vocal singer, and I feel like those in your fields that don't get enough shine. So I thought it'd be good to educate the people about it. And plus you're just really dope anyway. So
thank you so much.
I've been a fan of yours for a while. Like you've done like all these crazy acapellas. Like there was this one you did. I think it was to do with, was it Universal? I can't remember. It's like, well, you did one anyway, and I was just like, wow, this guy's absolutely amazing. I've been following you since. I'm just like, you're dope. But yeah, let's talk about your single. It's called. Why is it called Scotty? What?
So my friend and I work on the song together.
Right.
We kind of built it together, and he wanted to name it Scotty because it's a reference to Star Trek.
Okay.
Where I forget the character's name, but they were trying to call Scotty to, bring him back to the ship.
Right.
And he wouldn't hear him. So our concept was like he dropped the ball and didn't beam back up to the ship. So that's like the whole premise of the song.
Oh, okay. Right. So do you watch Star Trek? Are you a fan of Star Trek by any chance?
Actually, I'm not. I never got a chance to get into Star Trek.
Okay, that's fine. I don't like it either. I just thought maybe you were, and that's why you're into the concept.
Oh no, I've yet to get into it.
Cool. So how did you and your friend connect to collaborate with this track, Scotty?
So this was earlier this year, like around February.
Right.
And he said that he had a track he wanted to send me to see if I wanted to record vocals on it. And so he sent me a demo that he recorded, and I was like, yes. So it was that simple. He sent me the stems, and we got on a Zoom chat one night.
Right.
And I forgot the whole process, how it like actually came together. I think we recorded the vocals first.
Okay.
So we got on Zoom one night, and then he produced me over Zoom, and I recorded vocals. And also we had another friend who was on the same call. He also co-wrote the song too.
Right. Okay.
And we were kind of like all I was recording, and they were kind of got me through my stuff.
Right.
And then later on, I added some strings and added weight. He said he wanted like some more elements to fill it up some more. And so that's why I added the strings and the added weight, and a few other things too.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how the song was birthed.
Cool. Nice. Okay. So I want to know what got you into vocal arrangement, what got you into wanting to sing backing vocals in the first place. Give us some background on that.
So basically, I've been an instrumentalist for almost 20 years now.
Right.
And like around 18 or 19, when I went to college, I was like, I'm ready to reinvent myself musically because I was tired of playing for a church or really just playing an instrument and performing, period.
Right. Okay.
So I wanted to find another avenue in music to do.
Okay.
And that's when I stumbled across like doing what I do when I play an instrument, but with my voice. So like singing chords, chord progressions, things like that.
Right.
And I didn't think it was a thing. I thought I was just doing something that was like weird and unique.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled across like, the pentatonics and Take Six and all the other acapella groups. And I was like, oh, this has been a thing for a long time. And I'm really behind. So.
And a lot catch up to do, right?
Exactly. But I'm not really behind. I'm on time. But that's when I realized I could like, okay, I can actually do this because I've already been doing this for so long already. So it's just translating what I do that I've been playing into vocal arrangements, and that's really it. And I got my first gig like that same year that I started doing it. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, also to backtrack a little bit, I first started out doing I was doing like some covers on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And I was trying to sing lead. Trying to sing lead. But then I moved on to like harmonizing with people on Instagram. And I can't remember how I stumbled across that. Actually, no, Vine, actually, yeah. There were some people on Vine doing that. I was like, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And so that's when I first started like experimenting with arranging harmonies around people's videos.
Right.
And then I moved to Instagram. And then I kind of took off from there.
Yep. Okay. That's very nice. Because like for me, I mean, I like there was one thing you said that you tried to sing lead. And I just wanted to point out to people that what some people don't realize is that singing lead vocals and singing backing vocals are two completely different skill sets.
Totally.
And I don't think people who don't really understand how vocal arrangement works is like they don't really respect it much, like sort of thing. And it's like, like I dare say that sometimes those who vocal arrange and sing vocal arrangements, especially those who can stack multiple harmonies on their own, I dare say are probably sometimes better than lead.
Yes, exactly.
Because the kind of ear that you need is, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Like there are people who they exhibit a musicality that's so vast and so varied, and they can do anything they want to, like a Kim Burrell or Hathaway. People like that, they're musicians, so they have such a high level of musicianship, and they understand what they're doing, and they can execute it, and they can do anything really. I don't care how simple it is or how extravagant it is, they can do it all. So it takes a great deal of discipline, but also a great deal of patience and freedom too. So it's not a manufactured thing at all. At all.
But I must ask you, like you said, you did some research once you realized that what you're doing has been done for a long time. Are you aware of Jacob Collier?
Oh yes. Oh my God. I call him. He's like a brother to me. Like, especially since we've already worked together. Like he's like a brother because we're on very similar planes. I think so, musically speaking. And people often lump us together, not against each other, but together. And I love that actually, because I don't see him as competition at all. He's like a counterpart of mine that I look up to and I can learn from. Like it's that kind of thing.
So how? Wait, you need to tell me how you two connected and worked together, because I'm jealous right now. I would love to. I'm in awe of that guy. You know when somebody's too good at something where you're like, I don't like you, but I like you.
Right.
Don't do your thing, but keep doing your thing.
Right. No, please don't stop. Never stop.
Like, do you know what I mean? How did you guys meet? How did you guys connect?
Okay, so was this my first session with Ty Dolla $ign? Yes, it was. He had hit me up and wanted me to come to LA to work on his album that came out last year. And so I got there. I was the first one there. And then everybody else came in. And so Ty gave me some tracks to work on. So he put me in my own booth. I was by myself and I was in love because I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to be. Just by myself, locked in and recording.
Yeah.
So after about like an hour or two of recording, I came back to the control room to let them hear what I'd done.
Right.
And as soon as I turn the corner, I see, actually when I'm walking out, I hear like music playing, like some people are shitting or something. I'm like, what's going on in here?
Yeah.
And turn the corner and there was Jacob sitting at the keyboard. Like literally I walked in here, I was behind him.
Right.
And I was like, no way, I'm leaving.
I'm not worthy. I'm out.
I'm not worthy. This cannot be real life. This has to be a dream.
Right.
And I walked back down the hallway and I was like, this is actually Jacob. And he's in here jamming with Dre Bombay. And I'm sorry, not Dre Bombay. I forget the bass player's name. But he and Ty Dolla $ign is he's singing, like they're just jamming.
Right.
And then there are some producers in there and some other folks in there that just like vibing. I'm like, what is happening right now? And like 10, 15 minutes later, Ali, he's one of the principal producers on the album or for
Right.
that session.
Right.
He came up to me. I was like, "Hey, so Ty wants you and Jacob to record a song together," and I was like,
No.
"Okay, now I'm really leaving because this is not this. I'm not really here right now. I am dreaming right now."
Right.
And so, literally, Jacob and I we locked up. We locked in the same booth together that I was in, and we recorded some vocals for one of Ty's tracks that nobody would ever hear because it didn't make the album.
Okay.
But that experience, it felt like time stood still. But at the same time, both of us were traveling through the universe at light speed. That's literally what it was like. It like we were literally on the same wavelength the entire time. I never felt like I was behind. I never felt like I had to catch up or that I was not enough. I was enough, literally. And we were working together and collaborating, and we were throwing ideas back at each like back and forth. And we were in sync the entire time. It was absolutely insane. It was crazy.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's an experience of a lifetime. But
yes,
you had an even more crazy experience, and you got to meet another of the greats and work with them. The Janet Jackson, the one and only Janet Jackson. And I need you to tell me how you got that. Because listen, you can literally just retire off that one thing. Just be like, you know what? I worked with Janet Jackson. I can sit down. I don't need to do nothing else. Like
exactly. Right. I tell you, like all these things that have been happening, it's all God. He's really been opening some amazing doors that I never thought that I would deserve or have even dreamt of. But and Janet Jackson was one of those dreams that I never dreamt, but it happened. Like I never knew that it was a dream until it happened.
Do you know what I mean?
So one day I was in my my rehearsal space, which was my studio.
Right.
And one of my friends from Dallas that I met when I first moved to Dallas, Lawyer Turner, he texted me to ask me if he could give his cousin my number.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know who his cousin was, but I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So about 10 minutes later, his cousin calls me. And he was like, hey, what's up, man? My name is Daniel. I'm Lawyer's cousin. I was like, hey, what's up, man? He was like, so I'm getting ready to work on this tour and I really want you to be part of it. And I was like, okay, whose tour is going to be? And he was like, it's Janet Jackson's tour. And I was like, wait a second. You said Janet Jackson? Like literally Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, man, I honestly think that she would love your voice.
Right.
And I was like, he thinks that Janet Jackson would love my voice. That can't be real.
Exactly.
And so in my head, I was like that. And so I told him, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? What you want to do, man?
Yeah.
Also, he's the MD, so of course that made perfect sense.
Yeah.
So that day he sent me the set list, and he also sent me the songs that he wanted to re-record the backup vocals on because they couldn't get the actual vocals from the records because they're so old.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's how that happened. So like, you know, whenever they're recording on tape, some of the files were able to be transferred to digital, but of course some of the files were lost in conversion. So I did 6 songs for that first leg of the tour. I almost can't remember. And then I spent those next 2 days just recording. I locked myself in there. I was in there for like maybe 9 or 10 hours those days, just recording. I would go get lunch. And yeah, that was April. I can't forget the timeline. I think it was April or May of 2017. And then the show was in September.
Right.
So it wasn't that long of a time before the tour actually started.
Okay.
So I got to be part of the very end of the preparation for the tour.
Right.
So September rolls around. Yeah. And I'd already made up my mind I was going to go to the show.
Right.
Whether I could get a comp ticket or not, I just pay for it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So I paid for a ticket, got there, and Daniel told me to let him know when I got there.
Yeah.
And so I texted him and he called me and it was like, hey man, I want you to meet a friend of mine when you get inside. And I was like, okay, cool. I trusted him at this point, so I don't really care what that's about. So I got inside. I went to where his friend was. Right. And his friend was like, hey, Daniel got this extra ticket for you so that you can sit with us in the front row. And I was like, I'm sorry, wait. So wait. You said front row at the show? Right. And it was like, yes, man. Come on, you with us. And I was like, oh my God, what have I just signed up for? Right. And so the show starts, and by the time we get to the first song that I actually recorded background vocals on, and I hear myself and she's singing with my vocals.
That must have been crazy. in real time.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
It was surreal. I was like, this cannot be happening. And of course I'm recording,
Yeah.
but I'm in the moment too. And I'm looking around at people. I'm like, I can't tell them that's me because they can't hear me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, y'all, this is me. Like, those are my background vocals. And she's singing along with my background vocals. This cannot be real, but it's real. I have footage. And so, yeah, like the next songs come and I'm like, every song that I hear myself, I'm like, this cannot be, like, this is a dream. It was absolutely, I can't even explain how, like, even talking about it now, I still feel the emotions that I felt that night.
Imagine.
So the show ends and I'm hanging around his family and his friends and I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
And Daniel comes in, he comes out from the back
Mm-hmm.
because we're still at the front. And he gestures for me to come to him. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, what's up, man? So Janet is actually back here and I want you to go ahead and get a picture with her. She's totally fine with it too. And I'm like, okay, this cannot get any better. This could truly not get any better. Like, so I'll walk back there. I'm trembling because I'm like, I'm about to actually meet her. She's one of the most influential women in music.
Right.
And one of the most influential people
in
music, period.
Exactly.
And I walk in the room and there's already a line of people waiting because they pay for the VIP package, but I get the picture free.
Yeah.
So I was so thankful. So I walk up to her and she was like, hi. And I'm like, hey, Janet, I'm Jehreeus. And Daniel was behind me. He's like, hey, Janet, this is Jehreeus. He recorded backup vocals for those songs that I'll let you hear.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, yes, I love your voice.
Wow.
And she said, you sound amazing. And I could have melted then and there. But I held my composure.
Right.
I leaned in for the picture.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you so much for this opportunity, man. I love you so much. Walked out of the room.
Yeah.
And I had like 10 mini conniptions before I walked back to my car. It was absolutely insane and so humbling. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it just let me know that what I do is so much bigger than me. It's not just me. Like, it's so much bigger. And I can live to tell the story until I'm 90 years old.
and beyond. Listen, tell your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. Like,
they will forever, they will forever remember that moment and also who she is.
Right.
Was like in history, because that she can never be erased from history, period.
At all.
Like,
at
never.
All, at all. And it's amazing, like, having a compliment from somebody like her. Like, her vocal arrangements on her songs are absolutely insane.
They are, oh my God.
Like, the ear that she has and the way she stacks. And so for her to say that you've got the ultimate cosign. Like,
yes, absolutely. Oh, I don't need to hear any other cosigns from anyone else.
Do you know
honestly.
what I mean? It's just not, but tell me something, like, if you could do vocal arrangements for any other artist, like, who would it be? What would be your dream artist?
Ooh, I have a list of dream artists actually, but at the top of my head,
right?
Brandy, of course.
Oh yes,
Brandy and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake. Who else? Kehlani, love her. Tori Kelly. Of course, Jacob too. I still want to do some things with Jacob, like some actual records with Jacob that come out.
Yeah.
Usher. Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, that's a good list. I like that list.
Yeah.
I like that list a lot. But also another interesting thing about your career is that you had a placement with Insecure. It was Brent Fayez Let Me Know. It was had a placement in Insecure. How did that make you feel?
Oh my God. I saw it coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it come at the same time. So when it happened, I was like, wait a minute. This is actually happening. This song that I worked on is on a show. Yeah. That's amazing, first of all. And also that's very popular. Yeah. It was a lot to process within that week after the episode aired. And then I watched the episode and I actually heard the song and I was like, oh, snap. Oh, this is actually happening. It's another surreal moment. Yeah. Like, again, I'm just super grateful, especially because Issa knows what she's doing with her music curation.
Yes.
Oh, her selection is
Absolutely.
freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Every episode is perfect.
Yeah.
Every song is perfect for the show.
Mm.
Like, and then I had to go back and listen to the soundtrack because I have to find every song because I'm like, okay, who is this? Okay,
Yeah.
who is this?
Yeah.
Okay, who is this? And I find them and I learn of their music because they're important.
Yes.
Not just because they're on the show, but because the music is amazing.
Yeah.
So to be a part of that curation, like, you know, my little part that was on the song, it's just monumentally humbling.
It's crazy. Because you were one of the writers and vocal arrangers on that song, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That must have been dope. But did you watch Insecure? Do you watch Insecure though?
Oh yes, I finished every season, and I'm waiting for this new season to drop.
I'm looking forward to their last season.
I know. My heart broke when I saw the footage of everybody, you know, on the set.
Yeah.
The last day. I was like, no, please don't leave.
But you know what? I kind of saw it coming. I knew that Issa Rae would do at most 6 seasons. I saw it coming because I knew she wouldn't want to just stick to Insecure. And as you can see, she's doing so many projects. But I'm mad proud of what Insecure has done. It will definitely be something we'll talk about years to come. It's an excellent series.
Right.
And it represents Black people so well. It's so relatable. And it's just, I love it. I love it.
It's one of the perfect shows. One of the best shows of the end of last decade and then into this decade.
I agree.
Hands down.
I agree. Because I remember people were talking about it and I didn't really pay attention. One of my friends was like, do you watch it? I said no. So I think I got into it after like the second season. So I started from the first season, obviously. And I was like, oh, actually. So I binged it. I was just like, no, wait. I was I was just watching like, this is just too good. I can't stop watching it. And it's so well produced as well. Like the writing, the writing, cinematography, just everything about, like you said, the music curation as well. It's just top notch. Like they deserve all the awards. Like, and
absolutely.
Yeah. So where can we find you on socials?
You can find me everywhere at Jehreeus, and that's Twitter, Instagram,
right?
SoundCloud, even if you still listen to SoundCloud.
For real.
But yeah.
That's cool. By the way, you have a very nice speaking voice, by the way. I must add.
Thank you so much. One of my other friends, actually, a few other people told me that in the past 2 weeks, and I was like, really? Because I never thought my voice sounded that good. But
it's a really nice speaking voice. Very easy on the ear.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
But thank you so much for your time, Jehreeus.
Of course.
You're welcome. You have a good rest of the day, yeah?
Yeah, you do. You too. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I had a long day yesterday and I've got more things to do. But thank you so much.
You're welcome. No problem. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap with episode 49. Thank you so much for your time, Jehreeus. If you'd like to know more about this podcast, then you can go straight to linktr.ee/TMT_podcast, where you'll find Spotify, YouTube, all the social media. If you'd like to email, is that'smytunepodcast@gmail.com. I'll be back next Tuesday with yet another episode, the Big 50. Oh my gosh. Until then, have a great day and rest of the week. Bye-bye.